The reason why he's so wound up for sound is because of the lure course. That's his drug, period. And he actually, every time we go to a pet expo, he gets to run the course. Yesterday he ran it. I don't know if you can see, his dew claw got snagged. And so now he can't do it for the rest of the time. But thank you for coming to hear what we got to say. This is my family currently right now. These are my 8 that I own, that I live with. And the main point to this thing is, even though 75% of the time during the year I'm on the road talking to people like you, hopefully changing a couple of people's minds, at least one of them, when I go home, I get to walk home to this, and with no human contact except for the workers who take care of them when I'm gone. And I think that's the best reward in life, because I'm actually helping their friends out, hopefully be successfully adopted like all of these were. And it's a great thing to be able to do this. And I've not been doing this all my life. I've done this since 2001 because of one reason. In 2001, I went to the dog pound in Los Angeles County to what I thought was going to be rescuing a dog's life and saving a dog's life. When I walked out with this dog, Geisha, she actually rescued me and changed my life. And this is the reason why I'm here talking to you. And if it wasn't basically for her, I wouldn't even be here, because I wouldn't have a motivation in life to do something good for something else besides yourself. And again, basically, you know why I'm here. But a lot of people always ask me, goes, you know, why just the pit bull type breed? And first of all, a pit bull is not a breed, it's a type of dog. It's a misconception. There's American Pit Bull Terriers, Bull Staffy Terriers, American Staffy Terriers, Bull Terriers, and so forth. But as a lot of you know, who are Pit Bull owners right here? As some of you may know in this crowd, you get judged because of your dog. People look at you different. People look at your dog different. Even now, when I'm walking in the airport or checking in, people look at me and see the little man in the pit bull, and they do not know what the hell to think. People cross the street just because the two of us. I mean, if you're a bad person, it's a good thing for me. But if you're not a bad person, you're just uneducated. And I kind of know that same feeling to be misjudged, because a lot of times people misjudge little people. You average height people may accuse us for being a circus freak, a Loompa Loompa, a clown, a leprechaun, or whatever, when a lot of us are doctors, lawyers, business people, and different. So that's my bond with the breed, and this is why I'm here with him. And he will not calm down, not one bit. He's about 3 years and a couple months old right now. About a year and a couple months ago, we rescued him from Tijuana, Mexico. He basically had the same calm docileness, but he knew nothing. Not to sit, not to lay. And when you open up a door, he would run out. So we thought he'd be a good service animal, the replacement for Hercules that I've had in the past. So we trained him for when my sciatic nerve kicks in and when I fall on the ground, he's supposed to help pick me up. When I go up the stairs, he's supposed to help pull me. So after a couple months of training, he passed everything. We're traveling. We have a layover in Houston International. I slipped on my ass. You want to know what he did? In front of everybody standing, he walked up to me. He looked down like, dude, what's up? He forgot what he had to do. But the next time it happened, it's only happened twice, he stood by my side, laid down, I grabbed his harness, and he picked me up. That's his job. This is what he does. And he's changed life now for me than a lot of them that I've had before. I only got 15 minutes to speak, so I'm going to talk fast for a little bit. But if you have any questions while I'm speaking, please raise your hand. This is our latest rescue. Her name is Calypso. Does anybody follow us on social media? So some of you know this dog. This is how we got her when she first walked in on our property on February 27th. She was completely beaten. Her tail is broken. She walks with a gait. We thought it was going to take forever to even get her to trust a human being. Within 3 days, me and my crew had her totally turned around. As you can see, she had to get her eye taken out. And 2 days ago, she got her stitches out, and she's been doing very well with our pack at home. And eventually, she'll be adopted out. But people will do the cruelest stuff that they can. A lot of people don't know the history of what pit bulls were originally from. Keep in mind, he's an American pit bull terrier, but he's half the size, or twice the size, as what they were originally bred for in the beginning, from an old English bulldog and a terrier breed that no longer exists. And they originally got them together. They would put 5 of them in a pit, not to fight each other, but to bring down a 2-ton pit bull. It was a sporting betting game. When England outlawed that, they turned them against each other, and then they brought it to the US. And of course, what we as Americans always do, we make everything bigger and stronger, which we created the problem. These dogs are highly intelligent, but they're very, very strong. And you don't need to be training a dog with this much power to be vicious. You don't even need to train them to be a guard dog, because you're teaching them to be vicious. Teaching them to be your best friend and your companion. And hopefully, if you're down an alley getting mugged, he may protect me. I have no clue. Does anybody want to volunteer and start hitting on me? Let's see what happens. I don't know. You know, I know if you come break in my house, at least 6 to 7 of them will let you walk in and steal every TV in the house. I live in Mexico, so I know you're not coming down there, right? But you're going to get injured. You're going to get hurt, because they're going to tackle your ass and lick you to death, okay? That's the positive, and that's what I want people to see. A lot of times, your dog or somebody's dog is a product of who you are. If you're an ass, your dog is going to be an ass. So whether you have a Chihuahua, a Rottweiler, Pit Bull type dog, remember, you have to treat these dogs. How many times you see Chihuahuas that are really nasty? Imagine if they were size of Great Danes, who would be the problem? It's the way they're brought up and who they are. There's quite a few famous people up here, and I wanted to show you the different famous people that in the past or present have pit bull type dogs. A lot of people don't realize, we know Pete from the Little Rascals, the RCA dog, Helen Keller, Linda Blair, Danny Trejo. But at the same time, 2 presidents had them on the White House lawn, Franklin and Woodrow Wilson. And the most decorated and honored dog in military history was a pit bull, Sergeant Stubby. Our country used to love this breed until we started using them for the wrong reason. We all remember Chows were the problem, Dobermans were the problem, German Shepherds were the problem. It's mass media. And you got some of these hate groups, like freaking PETA and dogsbite.org, they can kiss my, who are just doing negative things and not basing on facts. You know, people ask me, he goes, Shorty, is it all right if I can, control just one of these dogs and adopt them? I'm like, if I can live with a house full of 8 and be 48 inches tall, don't you think you can control one? There was a guy about his size, and that's kind of large, asking me that same question. This here, who is killing who? Look at this graph, this chart, and just use common sense in thinking about it. Over 400,000 people die every year because they smoke cigarettes. Are we killing the cigarette makers? Over 40,000 people die in automobile accidents by reckless drivers or mistakes or so forth. Are we killing the people who are driving the cars or making them? At the same time, guns. Are we killing the manufacturers that make the guns? No. Texting while driving. How many people of us do that in this room now? And better not no one say no. But yeah, we all do it from time to time. We got to realize. But are we killing the phone companies who make the phones or nothing? We're going to come back to this. There's a reason why I'm going here. Coconuts kill 160 people per year. You're more likely to be killed by a coconut than a pit bull. Are we banning coconut trees? No. Again, there's a whole message here to what we got going. Every year, millions of dogs are killed. Out of every 600 pit bulls that go into a shelter, only one makes it out alive. We're killing hundreds of thousands of these dogs for no reason. People get them because they want to look manly and strong, and they realize they're not training the dog the right way. They can't control it. They throw it in a pound. I mean, these dogs are loving and companion. Then you have an idiot in 2015 who basically rapes an unconscious girl at a college, and he gets probation. But again, we're killing the dog and not the human. Look at your breed risk rates here. Look at this chart. Look at all these breeds before you get down to a pit bull type dog. You never hear about the Chows, the St. Bernards, the Huskies, the Great Danes, the Rottweilers, Doberman Pinschers, the Mastiffs, because it's not sensational news. You hear a lot of times about pit bull maulings, which they happen. But most of the time, it's not even a pit bull type dog. But when it does happen, it happens for a reason that you never find out about it. You just hear the headline. A few years ago, a pit bull mauled and killed a toddler. Bad. But why? Research of what it is, instead of doing the sensational headline. This mother of the toddler thought it was an ingenious idea that she needed to clean her kitchen and put this toddler in the basement by itself with no human supervision. Bad thing number one. Number two, she leaves it down there with two dogs, which were pit bulls, but you shouldn't leave a toddler down there with any breed of dog. We've had reports of little mint pins and Pekingese killing toddlers. But then, these two dogs that were left in the basement with this kid, this toddler, the female was in heat and the male was not neutered. Okay, in the animal world, in some of our world, when a female's in heat, a man acts crazy, right? They don't know common sense. A male, not a man, good Lord. You know, and that's the reason why, unfortunately, that child was mauled. Again, now I'm coming to the point of, on average, how many people are mauled by pit bulls, killed by pit bulls in 1 year. Just think about all the killings that go on. Look, of all the animals that kill hundreds of thousands of people, and you walk all the way down to the bottom, on average per year, this is what happens. Are we banning horses and cows? No. I mean, dogs. 30 to 35 people a year are killed by a dog, and only about 6 of it is a pit bull type dog. Think about it, people. You never hear about none of this. The biggest animal in the world that kills the most is a hippo. You know, that's a lot of people. I mean, we're never going to get rid of mosquitoes, no matter how hard we try. But people, look at the facts. This is what we're going through. But you never hear about none of this. You hear about what the media sensation wants you to hear. And again, who should we ban? Okay, I showed this yesterday. If anyone speaks Spanish, they'll know this. I live in Mexico and got 2 workers that was working on this. And they didn't finish the damn thing. And this was my whole little speech on dogsbite.org, which are very evil organization of people. And it basically says, Javier, we need to finish this page before the boss, El Jefe, sees this and not get mad. And of course he calls me Little Chapo, El Chapo. I'm like, I had to take a photo and send it to him on Friday. I'm like, really? And they're like, oh, you know. So anything from dogsbite.org is false, fake. They create false things that have no facts to it. There are one anti-pit bull group haters along with like PETA and so forth. Again, we always say which breed kills the most. No matter how it's raised, can turn into a complete animal for no reason and is most unpredictable. It's us, people. We're the reason why all this stuff is going on in the world. The dog killings, the child molestations, the pedophiles, the rapes, the murders, the robberies. We are the problem. Not them. They're not born to kill. They don't know how to kill until we train it or train it the wrong way. And always get the facts. There's a few that I have up here, but I'm going to basically go by one while you look at them. You have 1 in a 15 million chance by bitten by any dog in this country, but only 6 to 8% of all the breeds is this type of dog. Who can basically think that in the last decade, the dog that's been reportedly biting the most humans, not killing, biting, it's not Chihuahuas, it's not Rottweilers, it's Golden Retrievers. But people never hear about that. One, if they were strong as our pitties here, they'd be headline news. But no, they're still good family dogs. And then you have the myth of the fact where pitbulls have locking jaws. No dog has a locking jaw, no matter what breed it is. Of course, they're very strong. And when they get, and here's a prime example I'm gonna use. These dogs, once they get focused on something, they don't know when to stop. A lot of times we have to stop them from playing ball because they're gonna die of overheat exhaustion. And just like now, he would be on that damn course until he dies if we didn't stop him. And he's showing that right now. Look at his mindset. Look at his breathing pattern. Look at, even though he's injured and he was like limping in the room last night like he was a little, princess. But right now, all that stops. He has one thing in mind. That one. That's the drive that can be positive, or that's the drive that can be negative. And if you got angry with that drive, that is not a good thing. And some dogs have mental issues, just like some of us in this building, okay? Right? Some dogs don't need to be in public. There's a couple here now that have been going off on other dogs. If your dog isn't aggressive anyway, do not bring it to a pet show. What is wrong with you? I don't care what breed it is. It shouldn't be here. I have 2 problem childs that are dog aggressive and human aggressive. They don't come out. Period. Because, we've tried and tried. All right. You think it's not your problem, but think about the state of Ohio, who in the past, Cleveland and Cincinnati, banned this breed. And Ohio at one time had some type of BSL ban, or breed-specific legislation. It's gone away, and that's a good thing, but it could come back. It only takes one accident for some other uneducated politician to try to reinforce breed-specific legislation. The next 2 photos I'm gonna show are gonna be offensive. Okay, so if you don't wanna look, don't. But if you don't think it's not your problem, you may wake up one day, and this is gonna be like the city of Denver, okay? Where they just pile them up and kill them. They take your family dog, they take your best friend. They used to try to take our service animals, but we got that changed around. It could happen again. Things happen in time. No one knew that, we were gonna have the Holocaust. No one knew a lot of things. Things can happen anytime. Here's another study published in the Journal of Applied Behavioral Science. The most aggressive dog breeds are Dachshunds, Chihuahuas, and Jack Russell Terriers. Not the Pit Bull, not the Rottweiler, not the Doberman, or not the Bull Terrier. But you wouldn't think that. And all these things that I'm telling you can be researched on the internet. But make sure you're researching the correct information. Always, there's too much fake news. Find out where the website's coming from. Find out where the information's coming from. You need the research. And we always talk about why spay and neuter people. Again, the male dog with the female dog killing the toddler. If they were both fixed, that wouldn't have happened. You don't want your dog running loose and scaring the neighborhood because they're scared of pit bulls. That causes problems. And it helps out with their health, especially with female dogs and with male dogs, because male dogs can get testicular cancer. I can always screw that word up all the time. That's my boy Hercules. Hold on. Why volunteer? If a lot of people here didn't volunteer, there wouldn't be rescue dogs here up for adoption. A lot of shelters can't afford too much. If you guys can be here listening to me go on for a long time, That means you can volunteer at a shelter by picking up dog poop, walking a dog. Just think about it, people. They need your help. I mean, I'm lucky enough to where I live that we have a lot of people helping us out and supporting what we do. You need to volunteer, even if it's for 1 or 2 hours a week. It'll help. This is my family again. I got one more slide after this, then we got to end it, but we'll be back at our booth over here, and I'll be back on stage at 3:45. Does anyone have any questions about what we do, about the breed, or anything before I say my last slide? Why y'all quiet in Ohio? It's like my fourth speech and I've had one question. But you know, I hope you enjoyed. Again, all of this can be on our website at shortysrescue.org. A lot of people always ask me, why do I yell? Basically, I yell because somewhere in a Los Angeles backyard, there's a pit bull with duct tape around her muzzle being trained to kill while money changes hands. I yell because some news program in Denver, there's a politician demonizing pit bulls for his own career. I yell because some punk in Tampa's got his 5th box of pit bull puppies, and I'll know where they'll end up in the last cage of an animal shelter before they're 2. I'll yell because we as humans are the most brutal specimens on the planet. But basically why I yell, because my boy here, he can't speak. And that's why I talk, and I hope you enjoy my own speech. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.